Okay, so you're looking at the comments and the responses, and I want you to tell me what is the tone of the author? Does it sound polite enough? What kind of politeness strategies are they using? And also, do you think it's a good response or not? Maybe they should change it somehow. So you're not changing the response right now, you're just commenting on what you read, okay? So let's start with the first one, number 1. We have 2 groups for number 1, so whichever wants to start, and then the other group is going to complement the answer. Anyone? Number 1? Who had number 1? Oh, you have it. Okay, so.
Okay, so the tone of this response is pretty polite, quite polite, because the author used the hedging like we greatly appreciate, and then also the writer address the changes as suggested by the reviewer. And then we especially like the expression when the authors say we admit that some criteria, for example, the transfer intensity and developability, deserve further rigorous research, is suit to the comment of the reviewer. Yeah.
Very good. So any other comments from group 1 here?
Yes. For some of the suggestions from the reviewers, the authors agree, and like the other group said that like we admit and we have added references, but in some of the other suggestions, they stand their own points, like the author should address this issue in their final drafts, but the author said we will leave the investigation blah 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 in our next step research differently, and please note blah 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 blah. So they applied the politeness strategies in both agrees and also stand in their own point.
Very good. Excellent. So
but,
yes.
Actually, I have questions.
Yes.
This response is the longest response. Is that like most polite is like the longest?
Not necessarily. No. So it doesn't have to do with the length. It doesn't have anything to do with the length.
It's less direct and more go around a little bit.
Yeah, it could be, but you could say the same thing in a shorter paragraph, I guess. But maybe. But also, what we notice in this and what you said is that they're addressing every single comment from the reviewers. So, okay, the first comment you said, yes, we agree with you, so we changed this. But then they stand on their own point of view for a couple of comments. So it is a polite response. We greatly appreciate the reviewer's efforts. So you're thanking the reviewer. But then we agree with this, we change this, we don't agree with this, needs to be developed. Very good. Excellent comments. Very good. Thank you. So let's look at number 2. Anyone from group number 2? Do you guys want to discuss your answers? Do you have the microphone? Thank you.
Okay, for number 2, I think the word please note it a bit harsh, so we change it into I believe. So the sentence would be, thanks for the comments. I believe that the information needed to compute the weight can be obtained by solving the proposed nonlinear optimizations model.
Okay, very good. So yeah, you might make it a little bit softer too, but not that bad. Also, any other comments for group number 2, or do you have anything else to add?
No, just it. And for the second, bold sentence, I think it's polite enough, so we didn't change it.
Okay, yeah. And they said we also added a diagram, so they're agreeing with the comment and adding things to the
Proof
paper.
yes.
Very good. And from this group, yes? The microphone?
In the comment number 2, it's politeness strategies already because the viewers giving the reason why they reject it, and then also give the suggestion with they should clarify this one. That's okay. And then for the response, it's good because they say thanks and please, and then what's more? That's it. Okay, that's all.
Very good. Yes. So they're using a lot of politeness strategies. Please, thank you. Okay, but they are also addressing the comments. Very good. Comment number 3. Who has this one? Microphone to group number 3 over here.
Response number 3. We think that thanks for the suggestion is not so polite, so we add thank you for the suggestion. And we have eliminated table 3 in the revised manuscript. We add the may before the eliminated, so we have may eliminated table 3 in the revised manuscript. So thank you for the suggestion. We have may eliminated table 3 in the revised manuscript.
Okay. So, what is that? Is that a good answer, do you think? Or
Yes.
yes. Okay. Any other comments from group number 3 over here? Who has number 3? You guys? You have the microphone?
This is a very short response. So we agree that we can use thank you for the suggestions instead of thanks. But I think we don't necessary to write. We may have eliminated because the instructions is that table 3 can be completely eliminated. So therefore, if we accept the suggestions, it is already appropriate to write we have eliminated table 3 in the revised manuscript as you suggest. I think you can write.
Very good. So you have similar answers, but you're saying you don't need to use my because you're answering the comment. So yes, that's actually true. It's correct. The comment is very short. It says, for the sake of brevity, this reviewer suggests that table 3 can be completely eliminated because table 3 does not have any information that is not in table 4. And then they say, oh, thank you for the suggestion. We eliminated table 3. Very brief. They're doing, the author is doing what the reviewer suggested because they agree with the person and they thank that person for the suggestion. It's good, right? Brief, clear, easy, and polite. Very good. Excellent. Number 4 over there. Let's go on this side first and then move down.
In my opinion, I think number 4 still can be improved. It's not quite enough, in my opinion. It's not quite polite enough. It say that under, it's just say explain. Maybe it is better if we change it with under transfer intensity. It may be a good idea if you can give better explanation about how the base intensity is obtained, like that. That's for the comments, and then for the response, there is no issue with that. The author say thanks for the insightful comment, and he or she give some example about the planning and design standard made by one of the expert in China Open Road Transportation, like that.
Okay, very good. Any other comments from number 3 over here? Or sorry, comment number 4? Who had comment number 4 over here? Oh, sorry. Here. I'll just give them my microphone.
Yeah. similar with the other group, but we just make it shorter. Could you explain how the base intensity, or we just put please explain how the base, and also the response it should be thanks instead of thanks. Thank you instead of thanks.
Thank you. So the comment under transfer intensity explain how the base intensity is obtained. Sometimes the reviewers don't really use politeness strategies. They're very direct, like this is what you need to do, this is what you need to change. So for the reviewer, it's okay because they're giving you suggestions. They don't have to be too like, please explain. But it could be good to do it also if you were a reviewer, right? But you're using more time and more words. So maybe they're trying to be brief, right? They're telling you something to do.
Is there any relation with the culture?
Yes, I think that's a very good question. Very good. I think you probably came when we talk about different writing styles and how Western, like maybe English speakers tend to be very direct and they just say things as they are. But then Indonesians a lot of times go around the topic and try to be more polite. So maybe you're already familiar with the politeness strategies, right? Like, please consider, we would, right? But yeah, it could have something to do with the culture. And so if you're submitting your paper to an international publication and it's like an American reviewer and they just say this to you, you know that they're just being direct. They're saving time. They're giving you good comments. So just take it and do whatever you need to do. Your response should be polite, though, because you're the one who's trying to get accepted, right? So, oh, thank you for your comment. I already did that, right? So very, very good, insightful. Excellent. And the response, thanks for the insightful comment. So they're like, oh, you got that, right? And then they explain. So it says, please explain how this is obtained. They explain it, and they give you some bibliography source. Good. Good. Comment number 5. Who had number 5 over here?
It is a polite response. It show the author show the appreciation to the reviewer's suggestion by stating that the author has already done the editing.
Okay, very good. So comment 5, I would recommend that the authors proofread the paper to correct several awkward expressions. These are largely contained to the first section of the paper. We greatly appreciate the reviewer's efforts and have performed a careful editing work. So yes, they thank the reviewer for the time they took to review this, and they say, yes, we look at this, and we performed a careful editing work. So yes, they agree with the author, and they did what the author mentioned. Very good. And number 6, the last one. Over here? No. Who has number 6? Over there. Number 6? You have 2 microphones now.
Okay, for the comment, I think the sentences in the brackets are a bit rude if you say it, which are awkward titles. And I think it's polite already because it seems that this criteria could be equally sensitive. So it seems is already polite. And for the last sentence, like some explanation of why the flow weightings are used in some cases, but not in others would be helpful. I think it's not necessarily to say not in others would be helpful.
Okay, very good. And how are the response?
And the response, it's very good response. He said, thanks for the suggestion. But what I like from his response is he said, please not that. Please not that. To again his comment. the sentence with a politeness, please not.
Yes, very good. So please note something, right? So he's defending his point of view, but being polite. Like, so they're not following the suggestion, but they're standing on the ground. Like, this is what I want to say. Please note that this has already been done before. Very good. So we read a lot of examples. Now it's time for practice. Are you guys ready?